The man of values and the meaning of karma, yoga. This is not merely a personal account, but a reflection on the inner world of a man of values and his encounter with an ancient spiritual teaching. It explores what it truly means to live a principled life, and the confusion that arises when sacred teachings appear to conflict with one's natural sense of right and wrong. His difficulty never arose from rejecting the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita itself. Rather, it came from witnessing how its teachings could be interpreted in ways that seemed spiritually misplaced. From early life, the man of values stood firmly rooted in integrity. Even in difficult situations, he avoided harsh or abusive speech. He believed that strength did not require cruelty, and that firmness did not require aggression. He stood for people's safety and welfare, even when doing so created opposition. His actions were guided not by convenience, but by conscience. Over time, he sensed a subtle harmony surrounding such a life. Difficulties passed, illnesses healed quickly, and disturbances resolved themselves with surprising ease. He came to feel that living according to values created a form of unseen protection. Harmful intentions directed toward others seemed to disturb those who held them, while sincere action produced quiet stability. These observations strengthened his conviction that moral order was not merely a social rule, but a deeper law woven into existence. Along with this, developed a refined, intuitive awareness. He sensed that a colleague's emphasis on karma yoga did not arise from spiritual sincerity, but from calculation. Even before the idea was clearly expressed, he felt that the teaching was being presented as a strategy rather than a path. This perception revealed the source of his struggle, the apparent conflict between authentic values and a distorted idea of karma yoga. The distorted view treated karma yoga as a method for material advancement. Action was seen as a calculated tool for gaining influence and advantage. Life appeared like a chessboard where success belonged to the most strategic player. Emotional detachment was interpreted as the ability to act without hesitation or moral discomfort. To the man of values, this interpretation felt fundamentally wrong, because the true teaching of karma yoga is not about mastering the material game, but about transcending attachment to it. Karma yoga teaches purity of intention. One acts because the action is right, not because it produces advantage. Freedom lies not in controlling outcomes, but in freedom from dependence on them. This principle was already alive in the life of the man of values. When he stood for fairness and safety, he did not act for recognition or gain. He acted because conscience demanded it. Such action becomes a quiet offering. Work performed without selfish motive becomes part of the maintenance of the moral order itself. Duty performed with sincerity transforms ordinary work into spiritual discipline. True karma. Yoga also requires inner balance. Success and failure lose their power to disturb the mind. Steadiness replaces anxiety. Calm conviction replaces strategic calculation. This balance is not indifference. It is moral clarity combined with inner stability, the natural state of a man firmly rooted in values. Seen clearly, his discomfort was never directed toward karma yoga itself. It arose from seeing sacred teachings used to justify ambition and manipulation. In reality, the man of values had been practicing karma yoga instinctively long before he knew its name. His actions came from conviction rather than reward. He trusted that right action would eventually restore balance. Experience repeatedly confirmed that selfish action created restlessness, while sincere action produced inner quiet. After spiritual awakening, a deeper change appeared. Events seemed to lose their lasting hold. Difficulties came and passed more quickly. Emotional reactions shortened. The sense of personal struggle softened. Gradually, he became less an actor in events and more a witness to their unfolding. The man of values and the field of Dharma. The man of values gradually understood that life cannot be reduced to a contest of strategy. Life is not a closed system where intelligence and planning alone determine outcomes. Beneath visible events operates a deeper order, the field of Dharma. Those who treat life only as a game of advantage see only the surface. They overlook the invisible law that connects intention with consequence. The man of values sensed this deeper field intuitively. When actions were guided by self-interest alone, disturbances followed. When actions were guided by sincerity, balance gradually returned. This perception did not arise from theory, but from lived experience. His karma yoga therefore became centered action rather than reaction. He did not need to oppose manipulation with manipulation. His task was simply to act according to duty and allow the deeper order to unfold. Instead of struggling to control outcomes, he learned to trust the moral structure of existence. The path before the man of values became increasingly clear. First came purity of intention. Action could not be guided by fear or by the desire to defeat another. True strength required freedom from hostility. Responsibility to truth and welfare became the only legitimate motive. Second came freedom from attachment to results. The man of values had already seen that justice did not depend entirely on human enforcement. Wrong action carried its own disturbance. His task was not to control destiny, but to uphold what was right. This freedom created a state of inner independence. Action continued, but anxiety diminished. Effort remained, but struggle softened. Third came trust in the strengths that had guided his life. His resilience and intuitive awareness were not accidents. They were natural expressions of a life aligned with values. Integrity became both shield and compass. Before each action he could ask a simple question: does this action arise from the values that guide my life? If the answer was yes, action could proceed without hesitation. If not, restraint became the wiser path, regardless of possible advantage. Gradually, he understood that his role might not be to compete within narrow struggles, but to hold a wider vision. Where others saw opportunity or threat, the man of values saw the movement of Dharma. Where others relied on influence, he relied on steadiness. Influence gained by strategy fades quickly. Strength, grounded in values, endures. In the end, Karma Yoga cannot serve manipulation. It belongs to sincerity. It is the discipline of acting fully in the world while remaining inwardly free from the forces that dominate it. The man of values lives in the world without being ruled by it. Long before he understood the philosophy, he had lived its essence. Now his task was simple: to continue walking the same path consciously, allowing action to become both protection and offering, guided not by strategy, but by truth.